Hey guys, today I want to talk about how this concept called short-term compassion is causing a dramatic amount of damage to your life by altering the choices you make and the rationale behind them. So I want to start off with an example between two types of children. All right? And let's say these two children are raised in the same situation in which they face some sort of hardship. Let's say they have the exact same situation. Let's say both of their fathers die. Their fathers pass away. And so it's kind of their responsibility to make ends meet for the family and set them up for basically a more secure life. So the most instinctual or the most intuitive or immediate approach might be to start working long hours in order to put food on the table now, become a quasi-parent for your siblings, start, taking care of things around the house, right? Now, what does that actually end up doing? That sucks all your time into day-to-day activities like chores, taking care of people, taking care of bills that prevent you from developing skills and the leverage you need in order to become more successful down the line. That also might make you bitter in the sense that you feel that you work so hard and you are just barely making ends meet for your family. Not only that, but since you're unable to progress in the long term because you're not taking steps that enhance your capability of aiding your family in the future on a greater scale, you're keeping your situation the same across time. Now let's look at it from the perspective of child B that's in the exact same circumstance, but instead of immediately doing things like trying to make ends meet, put food on the table, taking care of their siblings, they decide to work hard, get an education, set an example for their younger siblings, be a role model. Now, it may seem in the moment that you're almost being selfish. You're prioritizing your own education and your own future over the immediate needs of your mother and siblings, your parents and siblings. But what does this do in the long term? By focusing on your education, focusing on compounding skills, and setting up yourself for success 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, maybe even 15 or 20 years down the line, you've compounded way more skills and way more experience that can bring you more income, more status. And once again, you've set yourself as a role model for your siblings and for the other people in your family to kind of pull themselves up in light of your successes. And so if we look at the differences in case A, or let's say child A and child B, child A is working maybe just as hard, but they're consistently meeting the minimum needs of just putting food on the table, taking care of their family and making their family dependent on them, but they're not getting the compounding skills to make them more successful in the future and put their family in a position to succeed long term. Child B, on the other hand, takes some short-term loss, maybe looks a little selfish for some time, and that time could feel like a long time in the moment, but eventually that selfish interest creates compounded skills and leverage that child B can then use to be more successful, lift the family from poverty, and be a role model for other members in the family to do the same. Now, this example extends far beyond just taking care of a struggling family, right? Whether it's switching majors in college to something that may feel like it's setting you 1 year back. Maybe that different major could put you leaps and bounds ahead of your peers 5 or 10 years down the line. Maybe it's switching jobs. Maybe it's switching relationships. In relationships, maybe it's, oh, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or it's going to hurt for me in the short term, so I'm not going to break up with this person, even though I know this relationship isn't working out. Versus, I'm going to break up with this person now, and it's going to hurt now, but in the future and in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to set myself up for a better relationship down the line with somebody else. And yes, I'm going to have this pain now, but in the long run, I might have a happier marriage, a better family, a better mother to raise my kids, or whatever it may be. And so this idea of short-term compassion, which is just doing the things that seem immediately beneficial, versus long-term compassion, maybe taking some sacrifices now in order to set yourself for the best circumstances in the future. That's a big lesson to learn. And it's been a big lesson to learn for me as well. What I want you to take away from this video is every time you make a big decision, or maybe even a small one, think about the downstream effects of that decision. Not just how it's going to feel today, but what might be the impact of that 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's all. Thank you.